So this is my first time watching Who TF Did I Marry? And I've never been interested in watching it, primarily because it was weird. It was just a story of red flags from what I understood. But I decided, you know what? Let me take a look at it. Let me do a recap and she's come a long way. And so now, in hindsight, we all get to see um, what really happened. At least I will. If you haven't heard of this lady, she got married to a guy who lied to her from the beginning. So let's get into it. I'll pause momentarily if I have any comments or thoughts or anything. So let's begin.
Hi, and welcome. We all know why you're here. You're here for part of the new series that I am calling Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I'm going to create this playlist series, and I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar. This is my introduction slash disclaimer video. First and foremost, I'm going to be truthful, even if it makes me look bad. I'm going to be honest, but I'm also not going to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved. I'm not going to use people's real names because I don't have their permission to do so, and the sister does not want any sort of litigation. I will tell you off the top, I have a sense of humor and I have sarcasm. So things that you see me laughing at, none of this is funny. But in order to get through it, I have to laugh. If I cry, I cry. I'm human. I'm a woman. This was traumatic. I'm going to do the best I can to upload as much of the story as I can, because I know people get so annoyed with the follow for part 4, follow me for part 17. I'm just going to do the best I can to keep uploading the videos each at a time. I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail. So that is a lot of time to cover. Please give me the grace to just get it out. It may not be all in one day. It may not be all in 2 days. But what I can tell you is, even if you don't necessarily see a video, I'm probably recording it and then I will upload it into the playlist titled, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? What else do I need to cover ahead of time? Because I feel like this video is important to give some sort of context. So that way when people jump into the series, they kind of can figure out, oh, let me start at the introduction video and then work my way through. A lot of the questions that you all have sent me will be answered when I start and tell the story in order. Everything I'm going to tell you can be verified. There are people in my life who can easily verify, yes, this did happen. Yes, he really did do that. Yes, he said that. Yes, she did go through that. I have no contact whatsoever with my ex-husband in any way, shape, or form. We do not communicate. We do not have mutual friends or anything where we communicate through those people. No contact. I cannot stress that enough because I feel like somebody's going to ask me, do you still talk to him? No.
I can't believe this happened 10 months ago. This feels like it happened just yesterday. I just have to say that because I'm looking at the date and I'm like, wow, this girl's life transformed within like a year. Okay, let's continue.
Seen him. I ain't heard from him. I don't want to hear from him. And I will tell the entire story up until the last time I did hear from him and what happened. Yeah, this is my story. So, I am just a regular woman who thought she met the one, and I didn't. Most people have never came in contact with a pathological liar. We typically come in contact with like a compulsive liar. It is not the same. A pathological liar has no reason for why they lie. And the lies that they make up, there's no limit to the lie. I was once a psychology major in undergrad. I didn't graduate with a psychology degree, but I'm very comfortable saying that he was a pathological liar. He was a narcissist. And yes, there was some mental, in my opinion, mental health issues going on. Pathological lying part, absolutely. So I want to preface all this by saying, you're going to probably think, what in the world? There's no way this happened. Everything you're going to hear me say actually did happen. I never thought I was going to be in some sort of Lifetime movie, but I was. So I will read the comments as best I can. Like I said, I think if you allow me to tell the whole story, things will be answered. And sorry, I do talk with my hands. It's a coping mechanism. So if you're like, why does she keep moving her hands? Other than that, let's all take a deep breath, buckle in, because this was a fucking crazy ride. And if you think it's crazy, imagine how I feel as the person who lived it and had no idea what I was dealing with. I thought I knew, but I truly had no idea who the fuck I married. You like how I twisted that? Anyway. All right, y'all. This is the introduction, so welcome. Part 1 will be up shortly. Please excuse the hair, but here is part 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under 2 different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the
That is not a red flag. That is not a red flag. I mean, it's a little strange for a guy to do it, but it's not a red flag. If you understand online dating, you really shouldn't put your real name out there like that. But I digress. Just want to say that's not a red flag, and the reason why is just for safety reasons. You want to get to know a person first before you divulge such information. I mean, I know if you meet a person in real life, depending on the circumstance, you may even give them your wrong number. But people have this tendency where they want to call you on the spot. So if you give them the wrong number, that may look bad. But you can always block a person. So yeah, you would probably give them just a name. You wouldn't give them your first and last name. If you meet a person through a friend or an affiliate, then you're more inclined to get the person's real name and everything because this person knows this, they know each other. So it's a different situation. But when it comes to online dating, since you're strangers, I would always recommend don't put your full legal name out there. You can put some kind of variation, as she said, that he did. He put a variation of his name and a nickname. So just for safety wise, please do that.
United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time,
I feel like this is a lot of information for the first phone call. Um, I think I missed a part where I, because she said I met March 4th, but I wonder when I didn't get. I probably can go back, but I don't feel like doing it. About how long from the time they met online to the first phone call, like that time period. I feel like that's a lot of information to tell. I wonder what she told him about herself. Just curious.
was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL, I know about college, go Dogs, but I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, like, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work and, this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot.
I don't know if I can go through this. I really don't know if I can go through listening to. You know what it is? I am not a. I'm a girl's girl, but I don't like when people give me how should I call it? Their relationship drama. I'm not a huge relationship drama, especially with someone I don't really care. It's not that I don't care about another human being, but I really don't know her. And it's really strange how people were so invested in this story. Just the whole title, it's a relationship story. I remember I watched the summarized version of it, which she did first, and then people were curious about it, and then she said, I'm gonna break it down from the beginning to end, and that's how she started doing this story. When I first heard the first story, I was like, oh, okay, okay, cool. That was just enough for me. I didn't need any more information. The mere fact that she took the time to go through from the start to the end, kudos for her because it worked out in her favor. But I'm not a person that is into. And the crazy thing is, I work with a lot of women, and I. But the thing is, as I said just now, if it's someone I don't really know, I'm not that invested in the story. So if I don't come back with a follow-up video because this is 7 hours, 42 minutes, and 44 seconds long, parts 1 through 50, if I don't come back with a second video or whatever, just know that I lost interest. Like for this channel, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it for the content. I'll do it for the like and give my feedback because I think I didn't miss the opportunity to do content on it, but I feel like now that it's all happened and everything has settled, the dust has settled now, it's good to kind of come back and review things and realize and see where maybe people missed things in their analysis or their reaction to her videos. So I just wanted to come back. I think I barely even watch people do reviews of her video. I just don't like, I just find it really a really yeah, I'm not that into it. Okay, so I think this is my part one of watching this. I am hungry, so I'm gonna get something to eat, and I will come back with part two of reviewing her story of living through red flags. But the first thing that she said was a red flag, I don't think was a red flag. So we're gonna end it here for now. See you in the next video.